Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is the fifth talk on the topic an introduction to Vedic astrology. Before I start my speech, I want to thank all of you for the wonderful feedback and appreciation you have given for the earlier 4 speeches. Based on the feedback received from you, I want to highlight a few points. The first point is regarding the Pitru Puja in Pitru Paksham Mahalayam period. I said some people do Pitru Puja on all the 15 days. And to further elaborate on that, these number of days start from Krishna Paksha Pratamai, after the full moon day, and ends on Shukla Paksha Pratamai, after the Amavasya day. And these number of days can be either 15 or 16 depending upon the duration of Tithi. The second point I want to highlight is that those who do this Mahalaya Paksham Pitru Puja on all the days, on the day of Mahalaya Amavasya, they have to do 2 tarpanams. One for normal tarpanam and another one for Mahalaya Paksha tarpanam, having 3 kurchams, one additional kurcham for Karnika Pitras. Then regarding these yogas and Karanas, I had stated that there are 27 yogas and the number of Karanas are actually 11. Then regarding this Skanda Sashti, I had mentioned that this happens between Diwali and Kartika Deepam, but month actually is Aipasi, not Thai. This Skanda Sashti is performed in the month after the Amavasya falling in Aipasi. That in this after the Amavasya day in the month of Aipasi, on the 6th day Skanda Sashti is performed, and some people do fasting all the 6 days, some people do fasting only on the 6th day, and everybody does puja on this Skanda Sashti day. Now we will proceed to the other aspects of astrology. There are 9 planets, Navagrahams we have in temple, and also we do puja at home also on special occasions like Graha Pravesham. Out of these 9, Rahu and Ketu are called Chayagraham. They don't have light of their own. They are dark shadows in the atmosphere, in the sky. Rahu and Ketu are always moving in the backward direction. They have retrograde motion. Rahu is always in the 7th of Ketu, and Ketu is always in the 7th house from Rahu. And Rahu and Ketu both take 1.5 years to move from one sign to another sign, and they take around 18 years for completing one circle of the universe. As opposed to Rahu and Ketu, Sun and Moon, they always move in the forward direction. Sun and Moon never have any retrograde motion. And the other planets, they move either in forward direction or in retrograde movement, backward direction. The retrograde movement is more of an illusion only. When the speed of Earth rotating the cosmos is higher than the speed of the particular planet, then the other planet appears to be moving in a backward direction. Out of these 9 planets, Guru Bhagavan or Jupiter and Shukra Bhagavan or Venus are considered to be natural benefics. They are more prone to give good results for anybody. And Buddha Bhagavan or Mercury is stated to be a benefic provided Mercury is not aspected by any malefic planet, or Mercury is not associated with any bad planet in the particular zodiac. Moon is said to be a natural benefic on the full moon day and rising moon period, but when the moon is in the falling moon period or on the Amavasya day, then it is not considered to be a benefic. Saturn, Rahu and Ketu, Mars and Sun are considered to be natural malefics. These planets play the role of giving challenging results for certain horoscopes. Then we have another classification of planets as functional benefics and functional malefics. The owner of the house, first house, the owner of the fifth house and the owner of the ninth house are considered to be functional benefics. The owner of the sixth house, eighth house and 12th house, they are considered to be functional malefics. Then the owner of the other kendras, first house, first kendra, fourth kendra, seventh kendra and 10th kendra, they can be good. They are also considered to be benefic only. The 11th house is considered to be good for both natural benefics and natural malefics. Any planet in the 11th house is said to give an auspicious result. Then we have one more division of the zodiac, not zodiac, one more division of the rasis or signs as movable sign, fixed sign and common sign. In the case of movable sign, if the Lagna Lord or the second Lord or the 10th Lord is located in a movable sign, then the native of that horoscope has got a more opportunity to go abroad and settle down abroad. The movable signs are Mesham, Katakam, Tulam and Makaram. As opposed to movable signs, the fixed signs, the native, in the case of those whose first house lord or second house lord or 10th house lord is located in a fixed sign, there are more chances for those people to remain within the country nearer to their origin. The fixed houses are Rishabham, Simmam, Vrichchigam and Kumbham. The common signs are Meenam, Mithunam, Kanya and Dhanus. These signs reflect both the properties of fixed and movable signs. Then we have the concept of Karakas. Guru Bhavan is said to be Karaka for getting children progeny. Then Shukra Bhavan is said to be a Karaka for partner, both male and female. Then Kuja Bhagavan is said to be a Karaka for sisters and brothers. Chandra Bhavan is said to be a Karaka for mother. Surya Bhavan is said to be a Karaka for father. So based on these Karakas, there is also a saying that each of these there is a specific house for each of these property or attainment in one's horoscope. Mother is seen from the 4th house, father is seen from the 9th house, children are seen from the 5th house, then partner is seen from the 7th house. If the Karaka is located in the house reflecting that property, then that property is reduced. For example, if Venus is located in the 7th house, that means there are difficulties in marriage. If Guru Bhagavan is located in the 5th house, then there will be difficulty in getting children. If Kujan is located in the 3rd house, signifying brothers and sisters, then there will be difficulty among the brothers and sisters. So also if Sun is located in the 9th house, there could be some problem regarding father. If Moon is located in the 4th house, there could be some problem regarding mother. So these are all the broad introduction to Karakatvam of the planets and the houses that signify the particular result. Now we will go and analyze each planet one by one. The first planet I want to talk about is Buddha Bhagavan or Mercury. Buddha is very close to Sun, and the Buddha takes around 88 days to make one orbit, to make one circle in the orbit. The planet is very hot, always having very high temperature, and it could go up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Since Buddha represents high temperature, maybe that's the reason why we also talk about temperature in the earth so many degrees as per Mercury. Then we have this Buddha Bhagavan is exalted in the Kanya sign, Kanya Rasi, and debilitated in Meena Rasi. Buddha Bhagavan owns 2 houses. One is Kanya Rasi and another one is Mithuna Rasi. And Buddha owns 3 nakshatrams. They are Revati, Ailyam or Aslisha, and Ketai or Geta. Buddha Bhagavan is said to be very friendly with Sun and Venus, Surya Bhagavan and Shukra Bhagavan. Chandran or Moon Bhagavan is said to be inimical to Buddha Bhagavan, and Buddha is neutral with other planets. In the horoscope, if Buddha is exalted in the Lagna Kendra, in Kanya Lagna, it is said to be Bhadra Yogam, and Bhadra Yogam is said to give very, very auspicious result. And there is also another very commonly referred to Yogam, Buddha Aditya Yogam. In the case of Buddha Aditya Yogam, both Buddha and Sun should be in the same Rasi or in the same Bhava. But normally Buddha doesn't go very far away from Sun. Buddha is always within 28 degrees from Sun on either side. And if Buddha is within 14 degrees of Sun, Buddha is said to be combust or losing the property to Sun. And Buddha Aditya Yogam is considered to give very good result, provided both Sun and Buddha own good houses in the horoscope, and the placement is also good. And Buddha is not too near to Sun. If Buddha is too near to Sun, then he is losing his property. Some people considered more than 4 degrees adequate, but many people think up to 14 degrees Buddha is combust. Then Buddha represents basically intellect, communication, and in the body skin. So if people having the stars Revati, Ketai and Ailyam, they are all owned by Buddha. So the people born in these stars, they are very good at communication, and they are more often liked by everybody around them, by friends and relatives. For example, M.G. Ramachandran is born in Revati Nakshatra, that's what I think. And we can see among our friends also, those who are born in these stars, they will be having very good friends and relatives, and they will be appreciated by all of us. In the same way, Kanya Rasi is those who are born in Kanya Rasi and in Mithuna Rasi, They will also exhibit a lot of positive qualities of Buddha. And Buddha is one planet which very rarely gives a bad result. But then if Buddha is associated with Saturn in a malefic sign, there could be some problems in nerves. And the Pariharam temple for Buddha Bhagavan is Svetaranyam or Tiruvangadu, a big temple for Lord Shiva, and that is located near Tanjavur. Then even Madurai Meenakshi temple is also considered to be Pariharam temple for Buddhan, because Buddhan's mother is Tara Devi, and in Madurai Meenakshi temple, Raja Matangi is very much powerful there, and Tara Devi and Raja Matangi are very close to each other, so that way worship in Madurai Meenakshi temple benefits those who have Buddha in key place in the horoscope, and helps them to overcome any challenges on account of any other problem. Then Buddha actually represents number 5 as per numerology, and 5 means the dates 5, 14, 1 plus 4, and the dates 23, 2 plus 3, 5, and even the new year 2021, 2 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 5. So the new year Buddha will be very key player. Key player means Buddha is also good for strategy. So those who play proper strategy and are good at communication, so these nations and leaders will have a better time in the year 2021. In India also, actually in India, our South Indian horoscope is related to Kanya Lagnam. That way in the year 2021 we can expect South India to play a very leading role, and even economic growth could be much higher in South India compared to other places. And Buddha is auspicious green. Actually green color is very auspicious for Buddha, and green color and green emerald is the color used by people to have the benefit, to have the blessings of Buddha Bhagavan. And Buddha Bhagavan is very fast. We talk about mercurial achievement, mercurial rise. If he blesses a person, then the person will have very great achievements in life. So with these comments, then one more point is that just like we have number 5 date in English, in Sanskrit we have this Panchami. All Panchami days are good for worship related to Buddha. Our Adi Shankara is born on Panchami day after Amavasya in the Tamil month of Chitra. Adi Shankara is such a great intellectual, and he is the person who actually propagated Advaita. Advaita is such a great concept. It is one of the greatest concepts that has come to our light during the current period. And Buddha also represents highest intellect. Tyagabrahma, Tiruvayar Tyagabrahma, he attained Samadhi and Bagula Panchami day. So one side related to Buddha, and he was a great artist, great communicator. The way he communicated the bhakti to Lord through his song, nothing is equal to that. There is no parallel to him. Then we have Naga Panchami. Naga Panchami is done the month of Adi, on the 5th day after Amavasya in the month of Adi, where snakes are being worshipped in South India. Then we have Rishi Panchami. Rishi Panchami is happening in the month of Avani, where the 7 rishis, Saptarishi Mandalam, the 7 rishis, they are being worshipped on the day for greater prosperity and for warding off sins. So that way there are so many Panchami days. Then we have Vasanta Panchami also. Vasanta Panchami happens in the month of Masi, and that heralds the onset of spring season. That day is considered good for worship of goddess Saraswati. Puja is in the goddess Saraswati on Vasanta Panchami day, and Panchami actually starts. This spring actually starts about 40 days after we celebrate Vasanta Panchami. Spring starts later, but puja is done on the Vasanta Panchami day in the month of Masi. So we have so many important vratams and celebrations and etc. On Panchami days in different months. So with this, I conclude my talk today. I will resume in my next speech. Thank you.